Oh.
My name is Haewon Park. I recently joined the Princeton Environmental Commission. I just wanted to ask you whether when you thought about increasing the graduate housing and also increasing the number of postdoc housings, I wondered whether you thought about putting the parking lot outside of the township so that, and also run maybe shuttle to the university. In that way you will reduce the traffic to the town. It's just because I've been a graduate student before, and I know how many graduate students like to drive just because one, it's very hard to find a housing within the campus. Two, once you get out of the campus, you have to have a car, and then, then you own a car and you drive. So, and maybe relate to that idea, I wonder, it's very nice you provide free parkings for students, but I also wonder whether in the future, whether you want to ask them to pay a little bit of parking fee in the efforts to reduce owning car and traffic.
Shall I go, or do you want to go? Yeah, go.
Well, I'm going to say one thing, and then you can say more. The basic concept of remote parking and shuttling is one that I think we've begun to, well, not begun to, we've had a lot of success with now over the last 20 years, I guess, 10, 20 years. And I think that will very much be part of the thinking here, that, if you can intercept that car before it has to come into town and allow that person to then get on a shuttle, that probably takes them pretty close to where they're going to work. That seems to work really well. So the Tiger Transit system that we have seems to now be very much part of our culture. People are used to parking more remotely. They don't have to fight the traffic coming in. They park, the shuttle brings them in. So that will certainly be part of the planning. And when we did the most recent graduate student housing at Lakeside, there is a parking structure there, and that is where the graduate students leave their cars and they take the shuttle. And we also constructed it a little bit larger than we needed for the graduate students so that some of the faculty and staff can park there too. And so it's a nice on the periphery parking location, and the shuttle works well. People are willing to take it because it runs frequently enough and so on and so forth. So yes, that will be very much part of the thinking.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for your questions, really excellent. I don't have a lot more to say except that we're definitely thinking about it for both of the reasons that you raised and that Bob has echoed. I think the concept of paying for parking is really important. It's one of those sticks in the carrots and sticks effort that most campuses have crossed that bridge earlier than Princeton University, so that will be looked at. But I think that there's an interesting set of mutually reinforcing relationships potentially in terms of locating parking more remote from campus, as Princeton has already experienced, provides the opportunity to enhance transit service even better than it is today. It also has possibilities to be combined with uses that can benefit from the parking at off-peak hours. So housing, graduate housing is one of those interesting uses. Some of the others that have been discussed previously could also be a kind of shared use benefit. But the other thing that I wanted just to encourage is that we as planners talk a lot about this concept of the last mile and how you get to the final mile of your destination. And we had a fascinating conversation with Kim Jackson earlier today, who told us about the tremendous success of the bike share program on campus, and I understand that the town is also beginning one. So we're very excited about the possibility that that last mile from those remote parking lots could potentially be supported by bike share programs. So again, very much the focus for the efforts of creating infrastructure that we've been looking at. So excellent suggestions.
And only to say that if the remote parking was on one side of the lake and there was a pedestrian bike bridge over the lake, it facilitates the ability